We're going to look at one more model. We're going to look at the model of a rocket. Suppose we've got a toy rocket. We're going to launch it straight up in the air. The height of the rocket, h, t seconds after launch, is modeled by the formula, or by the function, h of t equals minus 16t squared plus 150t plus 2. When will the height of the rocket be 200 feet? So when will our height be 200? Well, we let 200 equal minus 16t squared plus 150t plus 2. Now, what we want to do here is we want to get everything on one side or the other, and I like having a positive t squared, so I'm going to move everything over to the left. So I'm going to add 16t squared, subtract 150t, and subtract 2. Well, it's also nice to note that as I'm looking at this, all of my numbers on the left are even, so I can divide them all by 2. If I divide everything by 2, I end up with 8t squared minus 75t plus 99, plus 99 equals 0. So there's our equation. And we don't want to worry about trying to factor this one, and I don't think it's going to factor nicely. 8 times 99 does not come out to a pretty number. So instead, we are going to use the quadratic formula from the get-go. So we're going to start with t equals 75 plus or minus the square root of 75 squared, which is 5625, minus 4 times 8 times 99, which is 3168, all over 2 times 8, which is 16. Well, 5625 minus 3168, so almost had it, 3168 equals 2457. So we get 75 plus or minus 2457 all over 16, which again, we take the square root of this, or raise it to the 0.5 power, is 49.568. 568. I'm going to round to 3 decimal places now, so that when later it'll be closer to what we had. So we're going to get 75 plus 49.568 divided by 16 gives us 7.78, or 7.9 seconds, and 75 minus 49.568 divided by 16 gives us 1.6 seconds. So my two answers for when my rocket's going to be at 200 feet is at 1.6 seconds and at 7.9 seconds. So it's going to go up, and then it's going to come back down. So if here's 200 feet, 1.6 gets us to here, 7.9 gets us to here. And we can do the same thing with 300 and with 500. In fact, the only thing that really changes is this number. And so we can save some of our time, because remember, our quadratic formula is 5625. So let's just write this generic. 25 minus 4 times 8 times whatever that height is. 200, well, whatever the height is minus 2 and divided by 2. All over 2 times 8. So the 200 minus 2 became 198, divided by 2 became 99. 300 minus 2 is 298, divided by 2 becomes 149. So we plug a 149 in here, and we get our calculator back out. Let's do 5625 minus 4 times 8 times 149 gives 857. The square root of 857 is 29.274. So now we get 75 plus or minus this over 16. This was always going to go down here as a 16. So 75 plus 29.274 divided by 16 gives 6.5 seconds. 75 minus 29.274 divided by 16 gives 2.9 seconds. So as long as, or if when our height is going to be 300 feet, about 6.5 seconds, and at just under 3 seconds. One final one, if we look at this in relation to 500 feet, 500 minus 2 is 498. 498 divided by 2 is 249. So we get 75 plus or minus the square root of 5625 minus 4 times 8 times 249 is 7968 all over 16. 5625 minus 7968 is negative 2343 underneath the radical. And since this is an imaginary number, not a real number, we will never get to 500 feet. Before it gets to 500 feet, gravity's going to take over and it's going to come back down.